Facebook. How you doing?
Oh,
it's Brian. We're live on DC Music Rocks, and this is the podcast. So if you check out this week's podcast, this is the show October 2nd. We've got Milo and the Doldrums with me here in the studio. I want to give you a little sneak peek. This is the piece where we talk a little bit, so you get a little sneak peek of the episode with a live video version.
Wow. You
can check this out on YouTube or Facebook or wherever you get your videos. But then we also, of course, please do subscribe to the podcast so you can hear this whole episode and all the stuff these guys have shared and all the music and everything we're talking about. So, very good, guys.
Awesome.
So we're going to wrap up this song. We got about in 1 minute we're going to be live. So stay tuned. Stay right there. Don't go anywhere. And introduce yourselves while we're doing this. You are?
We are Milo and the Doldrums. I am Ryan. I play bass.
I'm Richard, and I play guitar.
Very good. So these are the guys. And there's two more, too. We got...
we have a missing Ryan.
And a missing Robert. And they play drums, guitar, and sing.
Nice. So that's the four pieces that make up Milo and the Doldrums.
Mm-hmm.
And you told them earlier, what's the recommended if you like, you sound like?
Pavement.
Pavement?
Pavement, car seat headrest, palatable Radiohead.
The palatable Radiohead. I
Not
really
just
like that one.
Radiohead.
Remember that one.
Not just
Palatable Radiohead. I love it. That's hilarious. All right, here we go. And there it is. That was Milo and the Doldrums, and the track is No Sense in It All, and that's off the new EP that came out, Built for No One. And God, guys, I really dig it.
Thanks.
That's a lot of fun. Now, this one, well, first, I just want to give you a proper introduction here. So let me just do it that way. So on DC Music Rocks, we're shining a spotlight on the great songs, artists, and incredible people behind the DC region's music scene. Milo and the Doldrums is an indie rock band hailing from, they say, the sandy beaches of Northern Virginia. And if you've ever been to Northern Virginia, I'm not really sure where those beaches are, but it's
talking about, man. You don't hang out at boardwalks in your free time.
Exactly. There's piers all over the place in Northern Virginia. Absolutely. So they're tinged with melancholia and uplifted by a love of life. Milo and the Doldrums harnesses the power of music to overcome life. And that's just a brief little piece. And I've been a fan of these guys for quite a while. We've heard them on some of the other episodes. They play with all kinds of other good bands. It's when you're looking at great music from the DC region and you're looking for a, like you said, a palatable Radiohead. It's my favorite quote, guys. These are the guys. So thanks for being here, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
This is good. Now, tell us again the name. Where does Milo and the Doldrums come from? What does that mean?
So, Milo and the Doldrums was originally just Robert, who's not here with us. He was going through, I'm going to back up. Milo and the Doldrums comes from the book The Phantom Tollbooth. Milo is the main character. The Doldrums is the first place he goes in the novel. And it's a very dark, sad, depressing place. Things are trying to grab him and pull him down so he can't get out. Rob, at the time, was in a really dark place in his own life, and music was kind of the thing. Writing songs was helping him be happy and feel good about his life and feel like he was doing something. So that's where the name comes from, is Milo and the Doldrums was kind of like his escape from that dark place he was at. And if you listen to our first self-titled EP, Rob is actually the only person on that record. He's playing everything.
Wow. What's the name of that EP?
It's self-titled. I think it's just called Milo and the Doldrums EP.
Oh, nice. Holy smokes, guys. That's a lot. Wow. And dark place from... All right, I'm going to be nosy. From what?
Yeah.
What kind of dark place? Was it a breakup? Was it...
I'm not sure if it was a breakup. I know... I don't want to peg him for anything in particular, but I've been... we talked about it in a similar place to where he was sort of the backing person in a lot of bands that he was in. And he would write his own songs and not feel too great about them. And I think once he started performing his own songs, writing his own material and having people come up to him being like, dude, you write really good songs, he started realizing oh wow, I can do this. I can perform these and have a band.
There it is. And Milo and the Doldrums was the result. There you go. Well, shout out to Rob. Robert, what does he go by?
Rob, if he's doing something wrong, then you just call him Robert.
It's like your mother when she says your middle name.
Yeah.
All right, Robert.
Mays.
Rob, I love your music, but Robert, stop it. Okay. Oh my God, that's amazing. All right. Now, and what part of the DC region? You guys are Virginia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Northern Virginia. We're kind of spread out all over. We rehearse in Fairfax. Richard lives in Reston. Rob's in Arlington. Ryan's in Falls Church.
Nice. Oh, so it's definitely Virginia.
Yeah.
I dig it. Holy. And where do you rehearse?
We rehearse in a storage unit off
Awesome.
of the highway.
Yeah. Listen, that's a great solution for a lot
Yeah.
of people. So I get it. That's really cool. Wow. and kind of homey, I guess. Do you have like posters up on the wall or?
We have string lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try to vibe it out a little bit.
I was gonna say we're gonna make it romantic for the rehearsals for that palatable Radiohead. You know,
yeah.
it just adds to the experience. Oh my god, I love it. So now talk about the funniest moment that comes to mind when you think about Milo and the Doldrums.
We were playing a show in Blacksburg, Virginia. It was kind of like a big all-day outdoor festival. And when we were sound checking, we were doing an Eagles tune. I think it was Take It Easy. Yeah.
And you were all like singing like harmonies and all the totally doing it up, huh?
The whole thing.
Oh, good.
And there's people, it's a day festival just sort of in the middle of downtown Blacksburg, so there's people walking around looking at all the stalls and things like that. And people are coming by and they're hearing us do this song and they're stopping and watching our sound check and genuinely getting excited. We knew we weren't going to play that song.
Yeah. And Rob is really renowned for just sometimes just saying just whatever he's thinking into a microphone, and right after we're done sound checking, he's like, "Oh yeah, and by the way, we're not going to play that song."
And people just walked away. Like no one, they weren't staying to watch us play. The people who did seemed kind of disappointed because maybe they thought we were kidding and we were going to play it. But
Eagles? Yeah, no,
it wasn't
play an
happening.
Eagles too.
By the way, we're definitely not an Eagles cover band.
There you go. In case you were wondering, you heard it here first. Nothing about the Eagles except for soundcheck. I love it. Oh my god, that's funny. Now talk about you guys on the personal side. So outside of music, what do you do?
I work at a coffee house outside of here. Shout out to Lake Ann Coffee House and Wine Bar in Reston, Virginia.
Nice. Okay.
It's both my job and my hobby. Like on my days off, I go to other coffee shops.
Oh, that's kind of adorable.
Yeah.
What to do? What to use their Wi-Fi?
Yeah, pretty much.
What coffee do you drink if you work at these things?
Just shot of espresso and a cold brew. It's my old faithful order.
There it is.
Outside of that, I do yoga a lot.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yoga. All right. Are you now? Wait a minute. Certain type of yoga? Are we talking like the really the fast workout kind of yoga? Or
Sort
I forget
of.
their. I'm terrible with their names. I'm failing at that part. I'm sorry for all the yoga people out there. I don't know them, but I know that there's like a stretching one and an easy one, and then there's hot yoga, and then I've heard about.
Yeah.
Some of
So there's variations of hot yoga. Bikram is what a lot of people know, and that one is where the room is set to like over 100 degrees, and that is very hot. I do a style called Baptiste, which is where it's set to about 90 degrees, so like body temperature.
Okay.
And power vinyasa, or like vinyasa flow.
Okay.
It's sort of like where you're
So
pretty
you're-
active throughout the entire
You're
session.
moving through the positions and
Yeah.
getting it's like a little workout in a way.
And then there's also a style called yin, which is
Got
like
it.
pretty meditative, pretty chill. If you're starting out doing yoga and you want to know where to start, if you see a class that says yin, that's usually a good place to start.
There it is. I dig it. Wow, very good. What about you, Ryan?
So for work, I bartend at Union Stage, which is one of the new music
Nice.
venues down on the wharf in
Yeah.
DC. In my free time, I like to hang out with friends, go to other shows if I have time. I have 3 cats that I live with that are awesome. They're not all, none of them are actually my cats. They're my roommate's cats, but they're like at work during the day and I work at night, so I just hang out with the cats.
Nice. You and the kitties at home. Oh my god, that's so good. And now down at the wharf, cool place to be, I would imagine. Or did you? Now wait a minute. I'm remembering the Dust Whales talked about how they used to work at Jam and Java, and it's a connection. Do you have like that kind of connection to all this too, or how did Union Stage come about?
Yeah, everyone in Milo and the Doldrums has worked for the owners of Jam and Java at one point or another.
Nice.
I never worked at Jam and Java per se, but I work at Union Stage, which is owned by the same people, and that's how I got in, was through all the people that I knew from Jam and Java.
Very good. it's that family thing. So
Yeah.
much good family going on here. It really is. And by the way, if you haven't been to Union Stage or Jam and Java, shout out to those, because the people that work there are awesome and the venues are really cool. And so if you want kind of I want to equate it to a mom and pop thing. I don't know if that's totally accurate, but it's kind of like a mom and pop vibe with these venues where it's a great place to hear music. Everybody's really nice. I really enjoyed those places.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Now, talk about then the biggest success moment that comes to mind with you guys and Milo so far.
I mean, it sounds pretty basic, but I think, and if they listen to this, that's awesome. I haven't gotten their names yet, but at a couple of our shows, I feel like when you're starting out as a band, you just sort of have your buddies who listen to your music and your family, and like maybe your mom buys your t-shirt, supports you.
It's true.
But I specifically remember playing Rock and Roll Hotel, I forgot when it was, but it was with Juxt
Nice.
a couple months ago. And I remember seeing these two people wearing Milo and the Doldrums shirts, and I had no idea who they were. And
Awesome.
so I was just like, hey, how'd you guys get those shirts? And they're just like, oh, we saw you at Jam and Java like a couple months ago, opening for this one band. We loved you guys. Bought your shirts, and we've like been to your shows ever since. And it was like, for me, that was the first time I ever witnessed somebody outside of our friend group or our immediate support group that was like, oh, we're just genuine fans of your guys' music.
Nice.
That was cool.
That is cool. It's the little things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very similar story. We were playing a show that was a benefit for our friend Chris Baker, who at the time was battling cancer and is now in remission, so that's a great thing.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this person who came up to me at the merch table after the show and was like, I didn't want to come here at all, like my sister dragged me out, I just like didn't want to go out tonight, and they were there to see another band, like her sister was there to see another band. And then she was like, you guys made my night, that show was incredible. And I've since seen them at, I think, 2 shows after that. So someone who had no idea and just like keeps coming back, like making those connections with people is cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're listening, by the way, if you don't stop by and see the artists afterwards, especially at local shows, one of the great things about the DC music community is that if you stop by and talk to the artists afterwards, most of the time you can catch them, they're around, they're hanging out, and it is a lot of fun to actually get to, talk to them, get to know them. They, it's that community vibe. It's awesome in DC. So definitely do that. That's really cool. Now, my favorite question to ask is, if you could offer one piece of advice, what would it be? For both of you guys, each of you go.
I don't know. I feel like I would say, well, just advice within music.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
What would you say?
It sounds silly, but just don't think about it too much. Because I feel like I get a pretty big rep for kind of going nutso when I play.
Yes, if you haven't seen the man play, nutso is one accurate description, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, I've busted my finger open more times than I can count now.
Got it. So don't think about it too much.
Yeah,
Just go
and
with it.
it's really just, like, and even when it came to, like, me practicing,
Yeah.
there would be times I would sit down with scales, sometimes I would just sit down with a lick that I was really into, and I would just spend however much time I felt necessary to work on it, and then I would just go and do something else, and then eventually come back to it. And even when it came to that, or playing, it's just have fun. Don't worry about doing the most accurate thing, just worry about having a good time.
Nice. Ryan, what about you?
Yeah, have fun is what I was going to say. Like, that's why we got into music, was because we loved music and thought it was fun, and then started playing it. And I know Milo as a band, especially, like, every show, like, we're having the best times of our lives. I personally would not rather be anywhere ever than on a stage playing for people. So just keep it fun. Yeah.
Keep it fun. It's all about that. Now, and for those folks who want to find out more about you guys and what the cool things that are happening with Milo, where do they go?
We have Facebook, Instagram, all at Milo and the Doldrums Music. We have a website, miloanddoldrumsmusic.com. it's not updated regularly enough for you to actually go check that out. Stick to Instagram.
There you go. So social medias is better. Got it. All right, Milo and the Doldrums. Very good, guys. Now, we've been talking for a little bit, so let's jump back into some music now. And one of the things about being a guest on the show is you got to bring great music with you, and these guys definitely did. So what do you have for us first, guys?
This is Ain't That Cool by Kid Brother.
And there it is. To the video, folks. Thanks. That was fun. These guys are awesome. Milo and the Doldrums. Milo, you heard him talk about the places you can find him. And, of course, subscribe to DC Music Rocks, the podcast, and you can check out that song that we're playing now that you can't hear. But we would love for you to hear it. So check that one out. Thanks, guys.